Welcome to another episode of WTF Cinema.
Hey, glad you came back. Let's keep diving into this movie, which, by the way, I totally love. Alright, I'm gonna have to avoid showing you some clips because I'm having a hard time keeping a straight face whenever I have to deal with Gary Oldman and that getup. So apparently the stones weren't in a case that was on the ship, which the good scientists apparently didn't find, even though they found the fragment of the fifth element. Gary Oldman goes ahead and leaves a crate of booby-trapped weapons for the bad aliens as a thank you for helping him. The weapons immediately explode, but we find out later that the aliens were mostly unharmed by this. Did he not know that they were impervious to explosions? Which is odd because later in the movie, they get blown up by Bruce Willis and they die. Are these like descendants of the Looney Tunes, where some explosions don't hurt and some do? Alright, I warned you this movie was complicated and it's about to kick into high gear of complication, so try and keep up with me. We find out that the stones are actually in the possession of a secret agent for the good aliens, who is undercover at the most glorious party of the century. Or maybe they have it every year. It's not really clear, but that's where she is. And over the next several scenes, everybody finds out about this. The good guys, the bad guys, and the ugly guys. Everybody finds out about this. And I'm going to spare you how they do. But it does work. I'm not skipping it because it's ridiculous. I'm just skipping it because it's convoluted. And I'm trying to make this as compact and sensible as I can. It's very well done. And if you haven't seen this movie for yourself, you should. Now, the military decides that they're going to send Bruce Willis to this party because he used to work for them, that now he's a cab driver, and so he can go in undercover without there being ties to the government, because God forbid we find out the government's trying to save all life in the universe. The priest wants to take Bob there, Gary Oldman wants his henchmen to go there and get the stones, and the bad aliens want to go there for grins? It's not really clear. We never actually see how they retrieve this information, that the stones are there, or that Gary Oldman's going to be there, especially since at this point he's not. What we do get is this fun explanation from Gary Oldman as to why he's a servant of chaos. He explains to the priest that he supports death and destruction because it creates life. Hold on a second. He's in the service of somebody who wants to wipe out all life in the universe, because wiping out all life in the universe will create life. No, I'm sorry, there's a problem with that. It doesn't work. And even if it did work, even if somehow life came out of destroying the life, don't you think the thing that destroyed all life would then destroy that life as well? I mean, you're not talking about a circle of life as much as a circle of death at that point. That would have made The Lion King a very different movie. Now, at this point, Gary Oldman picks up a cherry from the plate.
By creating a little destruction.
A cherry.
I'm in fact encouraging life.
Which the computer helpfully identifies. I'd imagine that'd get old pretty quick, you know. A grape. A grape. I got it! We never actually see him eat the cherry, though. We just see him take this drink of water and start to choke to death on the water. I mean, later the priest hits him on the back and out pops a cherry, but we never see him imbibe the cherry that he's choking to death on. You think you might want to show us that movie? Because otherwise he just seems like a weirdo who's choking to death on water. Okay, I've already described what's happening here, but you gotta see this little snippet. Gary Oldman's henchman is trying to figure out where the stones are. So they have this cockroach spy that apparently the henchman thinks needs to be just crawling on the president's face because it gets closer. Dude, it's a giant cockroach. How do you not think the president's going to see you? See? That's what you get. Why were you surprised by that? Why was that shocking? Giant cockroach crawling towards the president, he smacks it with a shoe. How is that surprising?
You got a message?
Yeah.
Blade Runner, anyone? There's also a clever running gag throughout this movie where wherever Bruce Willis is, no matter how long he's been there, his mother is able to call and get a hold of him so she can nag at him. It's actually pretty cute, and it's done just enough times to establish itself as a funny running gag without happening enough times to be obnoxious. I actually kind of like it. Now, apparently, the military plans to send Bruce Willis to the party by arranging for him to win a contest to get free tickets. And advertising the fact that he won on every radio station so everybody in the world knows. Very subtle. It's a good thing there aren't bad guys in this film, otherwise they might, you know, try to stop him. The military commander shows up to tell Bruce Willis about the mission that he's been chosen for, and brings with him a fat German Princess Leia? Weird. I'm not done with The Fifth Element yet, and neither are you. Come on back next week.
Thank you for watching WTF Cinema. Until next time, what the f***, man?